Okay, thank you for joining. Let's begin with a small invocation and then we'll just start today's question and answer session. To the Universal Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to my beloved spiritual teacher, Grandmaster Chokok Sui, to Lord Bodhisattva Mailing, to Lord Melchizedek, to all the great ones, Holy Gurus, Holy Masters, Saints, Archangels, Holy Angels, spiritual helpers, to our higher self, to the beings connected with our lineage, our ancestors, our guardian angels, the angel assigned to the Triangles Blessing team, the beings behind the Pitru Paksha self-healing series, the beings of light, discernment and wisdom, the beings of light in our rooms right now, who are specifically there to bring in more light into the doubting minds, into the mind that is curious and very logical and objective. Thank you so much for your presence, for your blessings at all levels. Thank you also to the beings of connectivity and technology for your great help in all our doings. We're very grateful. With deep gratitude, deep, deep respect, and lots of love and humility. We thank you all. We thank everyone because of whom we are here in full faith. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so first, before I start with anything, I want to really say thank you to all of you for joining in. I know it's Monday and it's morning time for most of the Indians, so thank you for joining in. So I have certain questions which I received by some of the participants or like some of the family members who are already there in some or the other group. I'll cater them a little later. Before I'll just share what is it? Because that's the question that everyone has. So if it is Pitru Paksha special and self-healing, then what is it? I'm not sure how many of you are aware of Pitru Paksha, but it is very much connected to Hindu, India, who really work with the astrology and the planetary impact. So in the easiest way, in the simplest way to convey is that based on the planetary positions, astrology, this Pitru Paksha days are those days where the veil, the veil is thin. And that's how we are able to easily connect with our ancestors. Now, ancestors are all those, our family members, who are not in the living physical body. So even if there has been a passing over of a young child who is younger than us, but because that child has passed over, it is addressed as ancestors that belong to the same lineage, but is in the past, not there right now in the present, at least in the physical body. So during these days, whatever we do in connection with our lineage, it is more impactful and more powerful compared to any other part of the entire year. Okay, so this is one. I'm getting some personal direct questions. I'll cater all of them. Let me just share, and then you're all invited here because you're here to ask any question if you ever have. So now we say it as self-healing series. So it really clearly defines it is going to be self-healing. That means all those who will be participating in the sessions will learn how to do their own healing. So all that question that if I can do healing for others, it is a self-healing process. Now, there are a lot of time, there are techniques, there are teachings where we do healing, ancestral healing or generational healing for other people. It works. It works too, to a certain extent. A lot of rituals are being performed during this time. It works too, to a certain extent. So whenever there is an external help, okay, it works to a certain extent, but it is my lineage, right? It is your lineage. If you do something, it works very deeply. It works so deeply that if your consciousness is right there, it can even bring changes at the DNA level. I'm not here to make any claims because you will be doing it. Everything will depend upon how much faith you have with what simple things they'll be doing. Because most of the time, I think it is a wide pressed misconception that healing, something as big as doing the healing for generation, or there are so many pitru dosh, karmic debts that I have. Can a simple technique help? Simple technique helps the most. Because when it is simple, the logical mind does not create any hindrance. We are there, just there, simply connected. So, what we'll be going to do in all these 4 days, giving a gap in the middle, is first we'll start with understanding. When we say lineage, when we say ancestors, what is your understanding behind it? What does it, how does it exist? How is that? So there will be a better understanding. This is from the standpoint that how can I heal something when I don't understand it? How can I heal something if I have fear about it? Oh my God, in my Patri, in my natal chart, there is Pitru dosh. Are my ancestors angry? What if there is a certain ritual and what if I do some mistake? Will my ancestors get really angry and mad at me? Will they curse me? There's so much of fear around. And it is very natural because a lot of humans, they only create fear. Sometimes out of malicious intent, sometimes out of ignorance. So what we'll be trying to do is, in a very simple way, we'll understand what the lineage is, and then each one of us will connect individually to our lineage, father side, mother side. We'll try to understand the pattern that is going on, which you are experiencing. So the pattern for me can be different than the pattern from you. The pattern, like if there are 100 people in a session, so some simpler patterns can be like, okay, health concerns are there, or the financial concerns are there. So these are very broad terms. But when I actually go in very micro level towards a pattern, it can be very unique to an individual. The broader umbrella can be the same, but it's very unique. So we'll try to see, connect, and see where that pattern is coming from, the father side, the mother side. We'll try to understand, and there are a lot of times there are passed on beliefs, there are passed on unfulfilled karma. At times the ancestors are in trouble because we don't acknowledge them. So we'll take that time of 4 days, 4 sessions, where we'll acknowledge them, we'll understand where we or where I stand individually when it is related to the lineage. And then we'll work in a group to elevate ourselves, to try to release the patterns that have been consciously or unconsciously being implied on us. We'll understand where we ourselves are, binding ourselves to a certain pattern, and where we are trying our best, but it is not getting released. So it will be a beautiful process, but everything will be shared and everything will be done by you. So all those who think, is it okay if I just don't do anything, I'll just register? It won't work at all. But if you really feel that you have time for yourself, I would say it would be a good investment. Okay, so there was something else that was coming in. Yes, so whenever we do anything in a group, it is very powerful. So if the same thing I do individually in my own space, and the same thing when I do in a group, the group conscious brings in lots and lots of extra divine help, extra angelic or help from devas. So whatever we do in a group, whatever we do in a very beautiful planetary, when we say planetary impact, that means the planets themselves are helping us in the process. So when we do in the larger number, under that influence of the divine beings, the impact is much more, I would say. It's grandiose. Uh, so it's a beautiful thing I want to share. It's divine thing, and I'm mesmerized how it works. So yesterday I had to attend a birthday party, and because my daughter was being invited and one adult has to go, and I am the only one who's Vela. So I had to accompany. It was in a mind museum here. So there was a party, and then later there was 1.5 hours where we were allowed to just go and explore the mind museum. So me and my daughter, we have been to there before, but today we had a session on ancestors. And I don't know how it missed last time, or maybe we went last time, it was not there. I came across certain things, which was, like the study done by Charles Darwin, the study of evolution, and then also like how the whole humanity came in and stuff. Coming down to a very small thing and very beautiful thing, there was a chart where it says that everybody's ancestor, if you go to the source, is the same. It's like, it's really beautiful. I'll just see. I took the picture of it. I don't know how to share it right now, but maybe in the session I'll definitely share. And that chart says tracing human ancestry. Oh yeah, and it started with common ancestor. And then from the common ancestor, it divided. And when I went to the part where Charles Darwin evolution thing was shared, it was very beautifully mentioned that it's like there's a molecule, and from that molecule is the ancestor, and that molecule understood how to replicate itself, and then that's how it's divided, and there are more molecules, and the more forms come in. And they were so beautifully mentioned that all those beings, all those molecules who know how to survive, right? Like all of us, we are there in the same world, experiencing the same challenges. Some of us uh, commit suicide. Some of us become addicted to substances. Some of us just fight and go on the wrong way, smoking, alcohol, or whatever. And some of us just strive through whatever happens. We don't, go astray. So the consciousness, what it does, it group together the being who survive, who have the survival instinct together. And that's how various groups, it's such a beautiful thing. And I was smiling when I looked at it. Coming back to when we are working together in a group, individually, we'll be working for our own lineage, but collective consciously, we'll be participating in the lineage of every other person who will be there in a group. And there is no mistake. So all those who feel, what if, there are no ritual per se that you have to do, will not be doing any. See, rituals automatically become, because there will be step-by-step things that we are doing, but it will be a process. It will not be like you'll need ingredients and there are no chanting or whatever. Maybe some chant comes in, I don't know. So all those who have attended sessions with me, it's very progressive when we start. And I have noticed I have a small thing, a small seed of thought in the brain, but then when the registration happens, a lot of more guidance and ideas come in. And when we actually do the session, a lot extra flows through. So with a grateful heart, I can just commit to everyone that I'll not restrict myself from, I'll not restrict anything that comes through me, whether it is very polite way of saying or whether it is something direct that has to be conveyed. Uh, During those 4 sessions, I'll offer to be super receptive and conductive with whatever comes in extra, to just let it flow. And that's it. For all those who have that question, oh yeah, if she says she is so great and blah, 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 why there is an amount? Kim should be offering it for free, right? I know nobody will ask me, but there are these questions. I also asked this question, and I asked. And I asked, and the answer was like, no, ask something. So when I was there that ask something, then what should I ask? So somehow the number came in like, are there any numbers that are connected with ancestors? And then I just Googled and did the research. And so it says that one is connected to you, and then two is, I think, to the father, and then the mother, something like that. If you Google, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it goes to the generation. And then the idea was, no, it's one. How can I say 1, 2, 3, 4 like me, father? No, no, no. It has to be one. Because I am one, and when I talk about and connect with my one, that one self, manifested self, the entire lineage is composed and there. So that's why 1, 1, 1, 1, that works with the transformation of the self. So that's why that amount that has been asked. And that's, it's if something is offered for free, open to all, a lot comes in. But then a lot, there are many who comes to judge, to just say with the curious mind. There are many who like criticism. Anyways, it's free, like, so let me be there. Though we don't allow people to speak, there is the reason because the energy is maintained with the words. But then the presence of the unsettling beings, it really impacts. So when I really want to work in a group, I'm fine with working with just one. I'm fine with working with just 2 or 3. But I want those who at least are taking one step, that I really want to do it. So there is something that I'm willing to sacrifice. Something very, very connected with everyone is the money. And second is the time. And the third is my availability, where when I'm there, keeping aside all my commitments for those 4 days. And recently, I have been working with some different modalities, and I have noticed that everything that happens, like karma, is beyond. It's like above everything. So the more what I'm investing in, what I am putting in forward, with what kind of intention, with what kind of readiness, is the basis of what I will receive. And that's it. So we are going to be together. We'll be doing understanding and exploring ourselves, our connection with the lineage. And we'll use very strong words, not the words which will not make sense, not the Sanskrit words, simple English words. You can convert them in your own language to say that. So that with consciousness and sincerity, we try to release all that is bothering us, and we'll also try to make our ancestors feel more loved and appreciated. That is the agenda. Whatever extra comes in, we'll see. So the recordings will be there. These are open to all sessions. So anyone, like, there is no need for any particular background. Of course, one need is that a person understands simple English. I'll be very slow with speaking. Over the period of time, I have noticed my speech has become slow. I am not rushing like earlier. So all those who have bare minimum knowledge of English language, it's very easy for them to. Or if you feel like you really think after doing the sessions that they were impactful, if somebody who does not know English, you can make them register, and you can do an extra service of translating it to them. That is done. But from my end, somehow the English language, I just flows. Like, I don't have to think much. So whatever comes, I just let it flow. But when I think about Hindi, somehow I have to use my logical mind. So I have noticed the quality is different. And all of you who are here today, or all of you who regularly attend any of the sessions when I'm speaking, you are there for that connection, right? What am I without that connection? So that's why it's the English language, because that just flows through. So I'm just taking in the little question. Is it possible that pure soul of ancestor comes in family again by taking birth as a grandson or son? We can find same habit and traits that saints learn without teaching. Yes. And how do you know that you are not your own reincarnation? Yes. Sometimes the unfulfilled business that I have done in the past, I have to just go through it. I have to be born again because I did not finish. Sometimes I really troubled somebody. So I have to be back to pay off. Sometime I curse somebody so bad that I have to be born again so that I have no option rather than serving that person. So there will be a lot of more understanding. We'll do that on first day. We'll do that on first day. Really understanding that this lineage thing, this reincarnation thing, and you may just guess, maybe you have actually been reborn. So in Hindu religion says if parents are alive, then one is not eligible to do Pitru Puja. We are not doing any Pitru Puja. Anyways, so does that mean that if my parents are alive, the other ancestors don't matter? I was going through one session yesterday, let's put it that way, and it was on Hinduism. So a beautiful insight came in that Hinduism has a lot of symbols. So various images of various god per se, goddesses per se, their vehicles, and there are so many stories like Hanumanji lifted the mountain. And as a logical mind, just think if somebody has lifted the entire mountain, how will that area survive, like geographically? Is it possible? A human body is in a certain way. If your head is cut and then the elephant head is put, how will that cells, like logically, how is it possible? How will that heavy head be supported by the tiny small body, that too of a baby, of a young kid? So the meaning is that all these symbolic knowledge, information, let's say, has a lot of spiritual essence and meaning. But what has happened is that over the period of time, only rituals are left. So we just blindly follow. And it is just like Chinese whisper, I whisper in one ear. Just imagine this whisper is happening from thousands of years. How do we know what I'm following right now? How much quality does it have? Even for that matter, there are questions related to period, right? That during periods, the females should not do. If you really go back to the Upanishads, period is the time where the female is directly in contact with the divine mother aspect. She has a lot of spiritual energy. She is actually a form of goddess. So during that time, if she is doing a ritual, you already have a lot of extra energy, a lot of extra divine energy. What are you doing? So you are supposed to be rested and acknowledged, and you are supposed to be, taken care of. And how do we understand it? Just imagine it is totally opposite of what the ancient scriptures and what the basic idea is. So the best thing I would say is ask yourself. And then there is such a beautiful insight, not insight, it's always there, the verse that came in, that the real teacher is inside you. The guru is inside you. You just have to go, deep inside and listen. All the answers, all that you seek outside is already there. What we lack is the divine will. So we know, but we do not practice. We know, but we do not put in. And that's why we need the external help. And ask yourself how many times, whatever I have been sharing, don't you feel some or the other way you know it? So many times you read the books, don't you feel that you already know it? But then still we need somebody else to. So we have to do the healing if Pitru dosh shows up in our astrological chart. I haven't made a chart yet. No, 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 no. You don't have to worry about the chart. Uh, this is a time to celebrate yourself, celebrate your existence, acknowledge the physical beings who who participated, because of whom you are here, right? So it is a time to celebrate, witness your lineage, connect with them, acknowledge what is happening, understand what you are going through, which is beyond your concern. Like, for example, if there is a family history where the money has been a challenge, and if I see the background and I see that there is a belief system that money does not come easily, is it your belief system, or is it that all the ancestors of my family is of the doctors, or my family is of the engineers, or my family is of uh, of healers, let's say, but I do not want to pursue the same thing, but then I tried and I failed, and that's why I'm back. Maybe the family is saying that's correct. There is nothing in the world that we cannot change about ourselves, like our actions. But if there is some very strong bounding force, that means it has been passed down through the lineage. So we really need to take our time, acknowledge that this is the belief system. It is not helping me. I am different. I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a singer. I want to be in an artistic line. So what is stopping you? If it is internal, if it is because the lineage, the belief system has been passed down, we'll do something about it. And I'm literally telling you, if you do it qualitatively, just one time is enough to bring in that shift. It's possible. So we don't really need to have a Pitru dosh to celebrate the lineage, to connect and to hear. Are these sessions open to non-pranic? Yes, of course. Like most of the sessions that I do are open to everyone, no prior requisite. Do miscarriage child also include in ancestors? Yes. Uh, request to read question clearly so that we can understand. I'm reading it. What is Pindadan? What if we cannot do it being girl child, no brother and both parents expired, no one guide? May I know science behind it, and how can I do it using energy science? Okay. See, there are so many. I think Pindan is one. There is also something where we are offered to. What do we say? The word I'm missing. Where you're offered, you're asked to offer water and then maybe black sesame seeds. Like there's so many rituals. Oh, I don't know how to put in words. Like whenever the word dan comes in, that means you have to sacrifice something. You have to offer something. Probably there has been a lineage. Like let's say, for an example, that in long time, and that's talking about your particular lineage, there was famine or drought. Let's say, like famine, like there is no food scarcity was there, or the water scarcity was there, and uh, a small part of your lineage belongs to that era where they died out of hunger, out of thirst. So when we say pindan, we offer food and we offer water in the name of the lineage, considering that as I'm offering this, may the hunger and the thirst that my ancestor has gone through be fulfilled, or something like that. I'm just giving an example. I don't know what's particularly there in your ancestors. So will do. That's what I'm saying. Instead of going into just the mere rituals, join the session. You'll be in a much better space emotionally, mentally, and also in terms of understanding. I have a question. We do puja and bhojan to Brahmin on the day, imagining that the same day serving the Brahmin is the same form. They have left the body, the souls has left. and is no more, must have taken another incarnation, then why we invite them? Yeah, that's what I said. No, there are so many rituals that we keep on doing. And I think the other answer that I said, that when we say, see, everybody is connected. So when we are offering food, it is with the intention that that satisfaction that a person, the being gets, that blessing goes, and it works. It works. Does it help with our children's karma? I have seen one thing, that if something is coming up from back, and if I am the person, probably all of you who are there in the session, you have taken that responsibility to do something to break the chain that has been, binding. So if you are the source from where the healing is being done, so if the pattern from the past has been healed, it will not go further to the next generation. So if I have already cleared all that energy where no more pattern of what to say, maybe the black magic curse is stopped, then it will not continue further. It's like for the future generation, it is a clean slate. Now it's their karma. If they sow good, they'll reap good. If they don't do so, they don't do good. But at least they will be free from the shackles of the past. So it's like we are cleaning the slate for the people in future. If we listen to recorded videos after October, as I'll be traveling, of course you can listen. See, all the sessions when we do in that energy, it encapsulated all that energy influence. So even if you do it later, if intentionally you do not doubt that, see, I'm doing it in October and the day is gone, it will work exactly the same way. Most of the sessions I do, it's prayers are very, very powerful. So I just keep it a small prayer with the intention that may all these recorded sessions retain the same essence. So if you individually going to the session, you just let aside that impact of the time, and you just connect with it as if you're attending live, you will get the live session impact. Black Tarpan, yes, Tarpan is the one. Do we need to do the session every day throughout the 14 days? We are not doing it all the 14 days. It's on Friday, then on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you go through the session, and then see, a lot is shared in one session. And it's not about the quantity, it is about the quality. So you will have even the sessions after, you can just, let the essence imbibe in you. Because every time the same statement can have, we all have layers like onion of our emotions, our thoughts, our belief systems, the kind of challenges we have. So once you go through it once, some brushing off happens. So after the cleansing, when you go through it again, probably a deeper layer will peel up. So there is no compulsion. You can just do a session once and do not look at it again. And you can do a session once, and then whenever you got the inner calling, if it is for every day, if it is for once in a week, just go ahead and listen to your inner guidance. Nowadays, the rituals are more in the form of physical without the spiritual connect than the real intent behind those methods with which they were conceived originally. Also, they have changed so mere process without real values. Yes. Accidental societal past one soul, we can make use of it. I don't understand. Accidentally or societal past one soul, we can, I don't understand. Please rephrase it. I see a lot of future generation do not follow rituals these days. What happens to the ancestors if they stop follow these rituals? How does it matter? No? Okay, in this life, there are people who are very religious, so religious that they become fanatic. And there are people who just believe in the materialistic world, and they just believe on this thing that if I am doing good, good will come to me. It's the same thing. It's the same. It doesn't matter. Rituals have no meaning if they are just being done for the sake of doing. I have a lot of money. I know it's Pitru Paksha. This is 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees. Just get the puja done. You do it. It doesn't work like that. I have no money, and I just sit bare feet on the floor. And I just pray. It works. There are certain questions which I got in that Google form that we shared. So first was, how is the how is the healing series going to benefit me? I already shared it. How to invoke the blessings of our ancestors daily for the whole 365 days. You can just say, ancestors, please bless me. But reading that question, I am getting this question that if the question is there that how should I invoke my ancestor to bless me 365 days, why why does a person think that they are not blessing? Come on, they are your ancestors. Okay, let's ask or see this very open-mindedly all across. What is that thing one person wants in life after I die? What should happen? I'm talking about the masses in general. The idea is that my children, my lineage, keep on, like I live through the family, whatever. Like I want to leave a legacy behind. My kids and the future generation, they follow what I have created, they use what I have created, or they grow what I have created. Yes or no? We all, that's why we want, no, do marriage and then bring in kids. Why do marriage and bring in kids? Why? Already there is a lot of population. So that my name, my family continues. We all strive for existence. Same is with your lineage, no? You have also been a part of the lineage sometime or the other. So why do you think they'll not be blessing you? In fact, in the inner world, if they are stuck, they would be looking up to you if you can do something for them, for yourself, for the future generation, so that the entire so-called lineage of XYZ family can continue to thrive. So why is the question that invoke for their blessings? Just acknowledge them, just acknowledge. Anything that you do, take their name and do something for others, share something with others in their name. Okay. One person has asked that मेरी daughter के घर अब सब ठीक हो जाएगा and her health कब तक? So this is a question like, if my daughter is going through a health challenge, there are problems, when will the problems heal? That's not the question related to the Pitru Paksha. I don't know. I am not God. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see future, so I don't know. For the Pitru Paksha sessions, I want to know if it is related to people who have Pitru dosh in their Kundalini as well. Want to know if that can be healed. So yes, if you have Pitru dosh, it's a very good thing that you attend the session. It can help. It has the potentiality to help. How much help you will be able to receive will depend on factors based on how much qualitatively you are doing it sincerely, and also based on your karma. So it is like, if I am doing something very good in the session, the moment the session ends, I am shouting, I am still stealing. So it will depend. But this will definitely lay a very strong foundation. And for a lot of us, collectively, when we'll do, a lot of karmic debts would be lifted. I'm very sure. I'm very sure about it. What are the key hurdles we are going to face when the Pitru Paksha rituals are not done completely? I don't know. Hurdles. Okay. What I understand is it's all about, how I see it, how I connect it. So if I think this ritual is not done, first thing, we'll not be doing any such ritual which can go wrong. Okay. So there cannot be a mistake when we do the four-day session. So no worries. It is fully safe. Anyone can do it. There's no repercussion. The second is related to that query. If I connect with fear and doubt that I have done a mistake and this mistake is so big, I have done such a big sin that it will come back, my intention that this will bring me something bad will bring something bad. Is it making sense? I don't know how much it is making sense. It's like all that happens in and around a lot of it happens because what I am been thinking about it repeatedly, and the lower emotions like fear and doubt, and that this thing can go wrong, these play such an important role because a lot of emotions are combined. So that small thought form that, oh my god, I have made a mistake and this can bring me disaster, that small thought becomes very powerful. Then I repeatedly think about it, I brood over it, and I along with it there is fear and worry and doubt. It became so strong that I myself manifested. So if you have done a mistake, just acknowledge, say sorry, and move on. Do something good. It's like always, the more we live selfless, the more protected we are. I think that is the key for everyone. So the more we do from the space of how I can contribute in the life of others, the more divinely guided, protected, and the more redeemed you are. Okay, I'll just our genes are our pitras. They would never curse us, not my views. Okay, yeah, this is a very good question. I mean, this is a very good statement, but there are still curses. How? Let's say I have been an ancestor. Okay, I'm sharing. Okay, don't take everything this verbally. So I have been my own ancestor somewhere, and I was in a family where somebody really abused me. Okay, and I cursed that person really bad, and I was in a space when I even died, that I curse that person, that you and your future generation. Every time we curse, we always include the future family members, like you never, nobody in your family will, like, all those words comes in. So I did that and I died. Severe curse. So what happens is, the divine, the karma is very beautiful. It made me reborn, and this time the person whom I cursed, that either became my husband or my wife or my son or my daughter or my parent who I'm really emotionally attached with. And the entire life, I pray and I do to my best of the capacity so that that person can be out of the misery. So the lineage, they are not cursing directly you per se, but that thing, just understand. I think we will discuss this part very beautifully in the session. I'll really explain it through how life works. When you are in a fight with anyone, we just say words, we just do things without thinking how it can impact the future generation to come. Right now, based on the development of the mental body of the human beings, we have better understanding compared to hundreds and thousands of years before. They were very simple people. If they are sad, they are bad, they would just say no, not beyond. So that love aspect is something that has been developing so much these days. That's why all these sessions and spirituality is coming into picture. Earlier, it was not. The people were just concerned with, surviving with the basic needs. So that's how it is. Something has stuck me when you mentioned famine. I'm in tears, feeling the pain of that experience, and my tears are not stopping. If that is happening to you, I suspect there could be a resonance in the lineage about that. So when we'll be, it's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for sharing. So when we'll be in a group doing that, we will ask. We'll just try to explore the lineage and see the various scenarios. And this will what will also happen, that if something is resonating, you will get some sign. So when you will get the sign, you will work for it more qualitatively. So this is, I was not expecting that will happen in the question answer series, but thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. If we take every fast in spiritual matter, like I'm keeping fast on Tej or Santan Saptami, but no puja, Is my internal call and ritual manner, like prasad making and offering and just everything I'm doing in prayers, manner for special person for specific day, is there more potential? See, there is no comparison. There is no comparison that I am chanting and the other one is cooking, which is better. There is no comparison. There is nobody to compare. If you go internally to the core, we are all same. If we are focusing on the external factor, then even the five fingers are different, right? So there is nothing to compare. And I think comparison comes in when the dark forces are in impact. Comparison brings in division. So no need to compare. It's about Shraddha that we say, like Meera ji, Mirabai. She was so much in love with the divine that she would just sing and then the divine would just appear right in there. So everything depends upon how sincere you are with what you do, how much love that you carry, the kind of intention that you carry with what you do. And there is no comparison. That's how we have the story of Shabri ke Bear, if you know, that there is an old lady, very poor. She would, pluck the bear, the fruit, and she would bite to just check. In India, generally we say, no, if we are cooking something for God, we should not even taste it. Jhuta ho gaya, right? And she was using the same bear, saliva is there, just so that she knows that if she's offering to God, it is sweet, right? And that is considered to be so valuable as an offering. I am getting emotional just saying that. That becomes so valuable. And then we just stuck with, oh my God, you touched with the, juta chammach and something like that. So where is the comparison? Where is the comparison? There is no comparison. You do not need anything to be of service to divine. You do not need anything. I'm married for 12 years and I don't have a baby. Do the ancestors doesn't want to continue the lineage? How about, like this is also a very beautiful question. Thank you so very much for asking. A lot of things it's very easy to blame everything on ancestors, right? It's very easy. How do you know that you have not taken a vow of celibacy or you have suffered? There has been instances where I have been working with people and it came to a point that they died while given a birth. Literally, like in the earlier birth, there's not so many resources. So the lady died while birthing. So much of pain, it took the life because there was not enough food for the body before she could give birth. And so she died with the trauma of the pain that she has gone through and that her life was gone. That fear is so strongly there, embedded in the cell, that she doesn't want to be a mother. How do you know that you're not able to become a mother? Because you don't have any that kind of entanglement. It's very easy. So we'll just explore and see. But I think the first step to healing is we'll work that on that also together to lift any and all kind of blaming and criticism. If there is anything that is happening to me, good or bad, I must have done something. That's how the karma says, that's how the life works. Any other way, it is not possible. So the moment I, say, okay, I'll not be blaming, then when I don't blame, and then when I just, pray, or even if I cry for whatever I have done that this is happening and I don't want it, in those moments at times, all the vows break. So there is not required of any ritual. It again comes, the voice of the soul is powerful enough to break and let go and elevate of any of the shackles that we have. What would be the mode of language? The mode of language will be English. Thank you. Yeah. Are we help them to evolve or we get help from them? It's interconnected, no? It's interconnected. Is not having a baby an ancestral curse? It can be, it cannot be. Our ancestors will not stop us not to shop when Pitru Paksha. I don't know. We register and join the class on Zoom. Please explain. Do we have the recordings? Yes, we will have the recordings. And then, yeah, it will be there till 31st of October for all the registered participants. And if ever in the coming years, months, weeks to come, if ever you want to go through them again, I'll ask the team that they make it always available, that you register and then you go through them again. Register and go through them. Okay, before we end, it is possible some other people and sisters curse our ancestors, and because of that, we'll understand all of that, all that thing on the first day, we'll understand how it works, how the courses work. And then from the next session onwards, we'll just try. So first day is very important. We'll have a lot of understanding how this comes into picture, this lineage, that lineage, and there are a lot of things. It's very difficult to put in words. We'll do it. Like you will, after the first session, you will actually have a lot of understanding how this curses happens, or how we are there, or why, at least some kind of understanding. It struck with me when you said we might have cursed someone in the past. That's why you may be praying for the soul now. Yeah. So I think that is it. We have the chanting blessing session just after 4 minutes. So I hope I have answered all the questions. And in case still something is left, the Google form is there. You can just fill it up. If that is beyond, we'll share this recording to everyone. So if there is Coco is a beautiful movie on this topic. So in case you want to share it with somebody who you want to participate or something, we'll share the recording. Like after it is done, I'll upload it and the team will circulate the link so that all those who could not be here, they can go through it and understand. From my side, before just ending it, I would say I really feel these sessions are going to be very different, not the general ones. And they're going to be impactful, really transformative. So from my space, I invite all of you to join. Rest, it's your choice. It's your choice. And also, though 1,111 is a very small amount, right? It's very easy to just buy fruits which are much above, to just go outside. But in case somebody is there who is going through such a difficult time that you cannot afford, tell the team, okay? Tell the team. But if you can, it is the right thing to do. Just a very small thing so that you know that you are putting into something. But if somebody really cannot afford that small amount and is really interested, just share it with the team. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much. A quick thanksgiving prayer to the universal supreme God, divine Father, divine Mother, to my beloved spiritual teacher, Grandmaster Chok Sui, to Lord Bodhisattva Meling, to Lord Melchizedek, to all the great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, to our lineage, to the ancestors, to the beings taking care of our lineage, the past, the present, and the future, the beings of technology, connectivity, our guardian angels, Kuldev and Kuldevi. I'm supposed to take the name. I'm sorry I didn't put into that words earlier. The beings of light, we're very grateful. We're very grateful for your presence, for your blessings, for your inspiration. We're very grateful for everything. With deep gratitude, with deep respect, and lots of love, with lots of humility. We thank you all. We thank ourselves. We thank everyone in full faith. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. From my heart to yours, I'm very grateful for being here. And that's it. Atma Namaste. And all those who can stay, just stay. We'll have a chanting blessing for all sentient beings. That's it. Thank you so much. I hope the message is clear. That's it. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.